Disneyland December 2025 will have the holiday season in full effect. If you're going this month, I have a list of things you absolutely got to hear before you go, not only to prepare you, but also so that you don't miss out on some of the most exciting things the resort has to offer, including special experiences found at both parks, including food you may not even have heard about that has been a hit, plus a popular attraction that'll be closed this month, the best and worst days to go, how to use your lightning lane to maximize it in December 2025, and in a full event schedule. Let's get right into it. I'm David Vaughn, your buddy who loves Disneyland. Starting off with some new experiences, we have characters you can meet in Fantasyland. So we have Jiminy Cricket and Elsa meeting by Santa in the Fantasyland Theater, and typically they're out there till like 5:30, just depending on the day that you go. So you might want to go over there and check them out. Jiminy's a pretty rare character that we don't often see inside the parks. Then over on Main Street, we have the fabulous crew. It is Mickey and his friends in their holiday outfits. For sure, check them out. They'll be appearing throughout the day on Main Street, USA. We also have the new Storybook Land Canal boats. It's been updated and reopened, and this one has a new Rapunzel's tower added to it, and it is going to have a different song and some effects from the day and the night. So if you're inclined to ride it twice, you might see a little different presentation there. Over at Disney California Adventure to celebrate Zootopia 2, not only are Nick and Judy meeting in Hollywoodland, but for the first time you can meet Clawhauser at the Disneyland Resort. So they'll all be in Hollywood for a limited time, and they should be there for most of the month is going to be my guess. So definitely check them out. Check the Disneyland app to see when their character times will be. And we also have a new Life Day Chewbacca. He's going to be in his Life Day garb, if you will, and he'll have that Life Day orb with him. This is a pretty cool experience. You can usually find him over by the Millennium Falcon. So go over there, check him out. And speaking of Life Day, you may not realize, but there is a whole slew of holiday snacks just for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'll link to my other holiday snack recommendations at the end of this video, but you might want to check out some of these returning snacks Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So I recommend these three. We have the Felucian Kefta Garden Spread. It's Impossible Meatballs, Roasted Butternut Squash Puree, Tzatziki, Toasted Sage, and Pita Chips. This one's usually a big hit. I like it. I think it's pretty filling, and it is plant-based. Then over at Katsaka's Kettle, you gotta try this Life Day Cheese Branch. It's croissant dough mixed with cream cheese, Parmesan, cheddar, and Katsaka's spicy Alfredo dipping sauce. This one's so good. It was a surprise hit for me and really flaky. But if you're in the mood for sweets, definitely try the Wookie Ookies. It's a pecan chocolate shortbread and salted caramel cookie. You can find this at the milk stand in Galaxy's Edge. You also might want to try some shopping. There is a Chewbacca Life Day talking action figure, which you can find inside the shops in Galaxy's Edge. This is pretty funny, but yeah, he does talk. And then there's also this Loft Cat. Now, if you want to get these items, this one's huge, by the way. If you want to get these items, these realistic sort of items, I'll also link to them in the description below because they might be sold out by the time you try to go. If you want to get them early or you just don't want to lug them around, you might want to order those up front now. But now onto the event schedule. So we're gonna have a Christmas Fantasy Parade playing daily at 3 p.m. and 5:15 p.m. Believe in Holiday Magic Fireworks playing nightly at 9:30 p.m. These are both at Disneyland Park. We also have Fantasmic playing at 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on December 5th through 7th. 12th through 14th, and then 19th through 30th. So it's not going to be every single day. Those are the dates you'll be able to see Fantasmic. We also have the Winter Time Enchantment at Sleeping Beauty's Winter Castle. So this is when it snows on Main Street and they also light up the castle, and there's usually like a song that plays. It's a pretty magical moment. This plays about once every hour. So 7:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m., and then with the 9:30 p.m. fireworks as well, you'll see snow on Main Street. So sometimes they do it over by Small World too. So if you stand over there, you might see it as well. Over at Disney California Adventure, Mickey's Happy Holidays is sort of like a character cavalcade with a bunch of holiday characters. This plays at 12:45 p.m., 2:30 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. daily, and typically it goes through Hollywoodland. Like I might walk through the whole park, but this is typically along the parade route at Disney California Adventure leading up through Hollywoodland. And then World of Color Happiness playing at 9 p.m. nightly with a second showing added on select dates. These are select dates, so it'll be on Fridays and Saturdays, and then also 19th through 30th. So it'll play nightly every night at 9 p.m. and then there'll be 9 p.m. and also 10-15 p.m. on those dates, just to clarify that. Now, if you want to get a great spot for any of these shows, I do recommend a couple things. For the fireworks, I highly recommend showing up at least 30 minutes beforehand if you're standing on Main Street. And then if you are wanting to stand closer to the castle, you might want to show up at least a couple hours beforehand because those spots do fill up. The Christmas Fantasy Parade, I recommend the second showing because not only is it at night and you get to see all the lights glowing, but also you won't likely have as many crowds. I know during the daytime it can get pretty packed, and there's really no bad spot to look at it, but most people try to stand on Main Street, so you might want to try something along the parade route between Main Street and Small World, like maybe try to stand over by Tomorrowland, or maybe even try to stand over by the walkway over there near Alice in Wonderland, wherever you can sort of grab a spot. And then World of Color Happiness will use a virtual queue that opens at 12 p.m. You just need to be able to have scanned into one of the parks in order to access it. Then everything gets sort of thrown for a loop with the Candlelight Processional happening on December 7th and 8th. So we will see a Christmas Fantasy Parade go early that day at 12:45 p.m. and 3 p.m. It also may make the snow on Main Street a bit earlier, and just keep in mind when you go that day to kind of, if you're going one of those days, check out the schedule and see what times they're playing, because it may not line up with this and things may also change with that schedule. But if you're not familiar, the Candlelight Processional usually has a celebrity narrator that narrates the story, the origin of Christmas. It's basically the only time something religious sort of happens in Disneyland Park on this grandiose stage, but it's over by the Main Street train station. That area can get pretty packed. I don't necessarily recommend trying to watch it if you're not an invited guest, because it can get so packed over there and you can get moved around a lot. Sometimes people just like to stand on Main Street and watch the choirs walk down Main Street with the candles, and then you can sort of hear the narration in the distance. But if you're feeling brave, you might want to try to grab a spot behind the seats and see if you can watch something. But for me, I just think it gets so clustered over there, it can make it very difficult. Now, what are the best and worst days to visit Disneyland in December 2025? So my recommendation is, if you're gonna go between December 1st and 5th. That will probably be the time that has the least crowds. However, December 22nd through the 31st is likely going to have the heaviest crowds. The only time that might have slightly lighter crowds, maybe Christmas Day. So if you're thinking about going then, it might just be a little closer to like moderate, maybe moderately high sort of crowds that day. But other than that, that's the busiest time of the year to go. You might see Lightning Lane sell out, so I recommend purchasing Lightning Lane in advance. If you haven't added on to your ticket, you can still add it on before you go. That's a new feature. Or just get there early, scan in at open, and make sure you're ready to start your day before the park opens and get ahead of the crowds that way. And then Christmas Eve might be pretty packed at both of the parks, so heads up about that. Christmas Eve, we can see usually fireworks at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. They'll do like a smaller sort of display for fireworks. There might be DJs, and the park usually stays open later till like 1 a.m. or so. So just heads up about that. We don't have full details about Christmas Eve just yet. So Disneyland usually rolls this out sometime in December, but if you're planning to go on those days, just know the parks will likely stay open pretty late and they can get very, 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 very busy. So heads up. And then finally, ride closures. What's going to be closed this month? Well, surprise, the only attraction that's going to be closed is Indiana Jones, and that's going to be from December 1st through 3rd. It reopens on the 4th, at least it's scheduled to, and there aren't any other rides scheduled to be closed after that for the rest of December. So this is subject to change. If you're getting Lightning Lane Multipass, here's a list of attractions I recommend prioritizing based on demand. If you want more Disneyland tips, make sure you hit that subscribe button so I can keep you updated with monthly tips like this. If you're a Magic Key holder, this is super helpful. Also, if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out and I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions about visiting Disneyland in December, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. I'm David Vaughn. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.